Greetings and salutations, friends. Holy moly, I'm excited. Okie dokie, artichokes. As you may or may not know, my name is Timothy U. Fiddle, and I've been doing the video thing on the YouTubes for about, I don't know, an amount of time. And one, I don't normally do this sort of thing, and two, I'm not going to make a habit of it. This is a very special case. 3 video games are solely responsible for shaping my interests into the non-magical wizard that I am today. Yeah, Spyro the Dragon, Warcraft 3, and Resident Evil, specifically Code Veronica. In fact, these were the first 3 videos I ever made. What the? What was that? Guildenstern, you son of a bitch. It wasn't Guildenstern, Tim. Really? My name's Lord Voldemort. The channel's named after me. I don't talk that much. Anywho, Spyro the Dragon got a remake that was real good. Warcraft 3 got a remake that was... But now, Code Veronica is getting a remake. And let me tell you, it's been a rumor for quite some time. However, it being a rumor, and getting to see the trailer and having it confirmed are 2 different things. Man, I'm excited. So what's the point of this video, you ask? Well, I'm just going to ramble. I'm going to talk about stuff I think they're going to do, and then I'm going to talk about stuff I want them to do. Yeah, as of the recording of this video, which is a date that Pickles will show you, because he's a good boy and didn't let Guildenstern come in and mess everything up. There's only this trailer and other rumors about gameplay, but there's no other actual hard information yet. So we're just going to start with the trailer. And I'm going to be super serial Captain Crunch. As soon as she said, "Oh, you're the sister of the man on the 3rd floor," I knew it was Code Veronica. No, I'm not kidding. And just so you know, I'm just going to be using footage from Code Veronica in the trailer, because if you're expecting some kind of fancy animation and stuff, you're thinking too wrong. I'm just an ex-wizard who lost his powers, who's trying to bring sillies to the world and mild distraction from everyday crap. Also, I'm recording in a basement. But like I said, it had been a rumor for quite some time, and I didn't really expect it to be the first trailer at this game. I don't remember the name of it because there's so freaking many of them now. But Alien Isolation 2 was also had a trailer. You're going to have to forgive me, I don't work good, especially when I'm on the Benadryl this time of year because of allergies. And I should go ahead and say that I'm sure you've probably heard these theories and these things before, but I don't watch anyone else on the internet because I can't really read and I don't really care what anyone else says, so. Yeah, pretty sure this is Rodriguez, not Hunk. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Rodriguez because he's the one that catches her in the trailer. And he trained on Rockford too, and fun fact, all the military umbrella people trained on Rockford. So you got Nikolai, Commie Man, Carlos Oliveira, all that team from RE3, Hunk, all the people you ever see with Hunk, Rodriguez. So, yeah. I don't know. It could be Hunk, though. They seem to be changing some stuff, so I don't know. I think it's Rodriguez. Now then, on to just general things I think they're going to do. I'm pretty sure they're still going to open the game with Claire infiltrating the Umbrella facility, but I think it's going to be kind of a sneaky snake casual part, kind of like that first part in RE9. As you're just going to be getting information and sneaking in that building that you see for like a second in the trailer. And I would be very surprised, like very, very surprised, if she just started capping people and a helicopter showed up and chased her. And then she did the cool action scene where she like dropped a gun and went, "Meh!" Claire's still going to do some action-heavy stuff, but they seem to be a bit more grounded now. And just so you know, that's okay. I mean, she's probably going to, like, set off some alarms and maybe get chased and stuff and has to escape. I think that's probably what's going to happen. And then she's going to get away and then go to the hotel where she found out her brother is at. And that's where she's going to get captured, probably. That's my guess. That's the opening that I think they're going to do. It's rumored to be semi-open world. So that means it's, in Resident Evil context, it probably means it's going to work like the RE4 remake. Where you get an area and then you can go do stuff. But the way I'm imagining it in my head is, one, I'm pretty sure that rumor is probably true. It probably will be semi-open world. And a quick note, the game kind of, sort of, not... I don't word good, so hopefully I can explain this the way I want to explain it. Code Veronica is not open world. I'm not saying that. However, it's a little more open than the other Resident Evil games because it's like, once you get to the palace, there's 2 different paths you can go, and you can just go. You will have to backtrack, but you can kind of go whichever way you want. There's nothing really stopping you. You got to get 2 plates, and eventually you get 2 keys, and it's a little open, so yeah. What I got going on in my head is, there's a fly. I hate flies. Shut up. What I got going on in my head is Arkham Asylum. Yeah, you know, kind of how the island was kind of sort of opened up even though you had to go in one direction. My thought process is you're in the prison, you get out of the prison, and then once you're out of the prison, you get to the palace, and the palace is a hub. And then from there, you go to different places. Hopefully on a motorcycle. I know that's also a rumor, but for the love of God, I never thought I'd be alive to see Claire Redfield riding on a motorcycle that I get to control. That's neat. Pretty sure they're going to cut the gulp worm. And I think they're probably going to cut the albinoid. Is anyone really going to be mad if they do that? I don't think I ever fought the albinoid. I always just ran in the water, got the plate, and left. On top of me forgetting it was even a thing. You do have to fight the gulp worm the second time. No, he eats Rodriguez. I don't know. I think they're going to cut both of those things. Yep, there's a fly, and I'm going to murder it if it lands. It's dead. It's going to die. I see you. Land. Toothbrushes I use for painting. Or to remove paint. Okay. I got him. They're going to fix Steve. I know they already probably said they're going to do this, but I think they're going to make him a lot more tragic and stuff. Because his story actually is tragic. It's kind of all nobody cares because he's really annoying. They're probably actually going to make him more important, I think. Like, they're really going to hammer home, like, hey, his dad sold Umbrella's secrets. And they went to his house and killed his mom and took him and his dad. I mean, I think in modern context, I think they're going to do a pretty good job with making him more. Yeah. Now, I don't think they're going to push the romance thing between him and Claire at all. I think they're going to change that dynamic. I mean, I could be wrong because they still pushed the RE2 Leon Ada thing. They literally just met each other and I fell in love, I guess. So I guess they could still do that, but I don't think they are. I hope they keep the relaxed, beautiful part, and I hope Claire just, like, throat punches him and says, look, this is a chaotic situation. I don't got time for your shit, so you're either going to help me or get the fuck out of the way. And then he just doesn't do it anymore. Although I do kind of hope they keep the part where he stares at her ass when she's on the computer. Because Claire's got a nice butt, But I'm pretty sure their relationship's gonna be more about trust and her getting Steve to not be a ass the whole time. And I think by the end of it, when he, spoiler alert, he gets turned into a monster, and that's probably gonna be a boss fight. And they're probably gonna do a good job of making you like, oh my god, oh Jesus, this is sad. Instead of him saying, I love you, and then dying, and her crying, I think he's going to say, thank you, Claire, and then die. But it's still gonna be real sad, and she still may cry. So, yeah. I think Alfred's gonna be completely deranged. Like, just crazy. I know we're not doing a cross-dressing thing. I get it. I'm not butthurt about that. That's fine. You don't have to do that. I do think he is going to talk to himself, and I do think there may be parts where he's talking to himself as Alexia, and maybe that makes them confused, where they realize, oh, he's just talking to himself. Or better yet, they had the little scene from The Room where you see the dress and the wig, but it's just like a mannequin that he made of his sister, and he just talks to it. Yeah, Alfred's gonna be pretty fucked up. They did a pretty good job making Chief Irons a ass, so they're probably gonna do a good job with Alfred. I think in the same way they made Marvin a super neato character in RE2, whereas in the original he's just kind of there and he dies. They added more stuff, and he's like, man, I was real sad when I had to kill him as a zombie in the remake. I think they're gonna do that with Rodriguez. I think he's gonna be the Marvin, which means he dies, but that's fine. More than likely, the T. Veronica virus is probably gonna make different kind of zombies, not like drastically different or anything, but they're probably gonna be different in some kind of way. I don't really have any idea of how different that's going to be. However, faster maybe? I mean, the rumor right now is that it's like semi-open world and stuff and free traversal and real survival horror, so you're going to have very limited stuff. So maybe not fast, because that's probably harder to deal with. I don't know. Maybe they're just friendlier and they want to hug you instead of try to eat you. I hope they don't do that. That wouldn't be very good. I think the Bandersnatches are going to be fucking horrifying. I also don't think there's going to be that many of them. I bet you they're probably going to be locked to certain areas, and there may be a finite number of them like there were lickers. But I think there'll be less of them than there were in the original game. And I think there will be... I'm not going to say mini bosses, because they're not going to be mini bosses. But I think they're going to be real scary. Pretty sure Wesker's going to be the final boss. I'm pretty sure that's not going to be a cutscene between him and Chris. They're just going to... You're going to have to fight him. Maybe with Claire, too. Who the fuck knows? And he's probably going to have a lot more stuff. Now. Potty break. I have returned from the potty. What were they talking about? Oh, yes. Now, these are some things I want to see, but I'm not sure if they will put them in the game or not. So, the remakes tend to have the... Well, when I say remakes, just know that I'm mainly talking about RE2 and RE4, because RE3's... It's almost good. I made a video about that too. But we all know why it's... Yeah. Plus, the team that's making Veronica were the team that made RE2 and RE4. So my expectations are decently high, so I really hope I don't get them destroyed. So anyway, here's where I'm going to try to word real good to get you to understand what I'm saying. Those two games deliberately had things in them to subvert the expectations of people who played the original. For the RE2 remake, it was the liquor in the window, how it wasn't there the first time you walked by, but it was upstairs. And then in the second playthrough, it's right there. The RE4 remake, it was the dog in the bear trap. He wasn't in the bear trap, he was dead. But later, there is a dog in a bear trap. You see what I'm getting at? Imagine, for a moment, my fellow Code Veronica fans, as I know, Exactly where they should do that in Code Veronica. So, you just arrive in the Antarctic facility. Everything's going pretty terrible. You get to the room, wherever it is, where you walk above where Nosferatu is, and then there's the big reveal. Now, in the remake, everything happens the same. Except there's the big reveal, and he's not down there. So you're like, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. So then you start running around to do the stuff you're used to doing. Except, there's no zombies or anything, along with there being no power. So you're like, wait a minute. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. So maybe you get the thing to go get the power. Let me redo that. So you see where you need to turn the power on. Maybe you need to get something like a crank handle or some stupid RE shit. You know how this goes. So then you're stumbling around in the dark. You're seeing zombies, but they're not getting up for whatever reason. Maybe it's too cold outside. Maybe they're seeping. But there is no enemies. It's just darkness and you're really fucking cold. And then you get the thing you need to get. And then he shows up. And not only is he there, and he's the only enemy, you then realize, wait a minute, all the RE games have the obligatory stalker enemy right at the beginning of the game. And you didn't have to deal with one right at the beginning of the game. And you thought, well, I guess they're not doing that. And then you get to Antarctica and Nosferatu's the stalking enemy. And he's not just a stalking enemy. Perhaps, maybe, that is the boss fight. You can just kill him. In this moment. But it takes a lot of ammo. And maybe he's like really fucking aggressive. Or you get what I'm saying? I think that would be pretty fucking neato. I want Claire to get the bowgun. But I don't think they're going to put the bowgun in the game. Because she had one in RE2 and they didn't give it to her. I want a crossbow. Ada got one in separate ways. I don't want the giant spider or any spider to be in this game. But I'm no fool. I know that's exactly what they're going to do. And I think maybe that's probably going to be the Antarctic part with the spiders. Because that's where they are the first time. And I don't like spiders. So I'm not looking forward to that. But I love the game so much that love supersedes and defeats my fear of spiders. So that should tell you how much I like this game. I want Claire's part to be super serial, scary all the time. I want Chris's part to basically play like Doom. I want him to find out they took his sister, fly into a blind rage, go to the island, catch his bag, and you just have weapons. Realistically, though, I want him to have his pistol, a bigger pistol, a fucking sword, because he doesn't want a knife anymore. Dad, I want a sword. And some kind of assault rifle, and maybe also a shotgun. I want him to just show up, armed to the teeth, not giving any fucks, shows up on the island, starts murdering everything. And Wesker shows up, he doesn't care, he's just like, oh my god, you're alive, where the fuck is Claire? I think Claire's gonna have some super sneaky parts, where she's hitting the circle button like in RE4 and sneaking around stuff, and hopefully they make it matter a little more than they did in RE4, because you really just did that during a few parts and you just murdered things. But I think she's gonna have a dodge button, I'm pretty sure Chris is gonna have a parry. Or Carlos's punch, because he punches boulders and stuff. Ha 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 tee hee. Looks like boulder rolled through apartment. But I don't like Carlos's punch, so I hope he has a parry. I think it's still going to be mostly Claire's game. Like the bulk of it, like 2/3 or 3/4 of it will be Claire's, and then Chris will be there. I think they might go back and forth a little bit. Like, deliberately, like, big chunk Claire, little Chris. Big chunk Claire, little Chris, maybe back and forth. Personally, I kind of hope they just keep it the way it was originally. You play most of it, it's clear, and then Chris shows up and just Doom 3s his way through the island to Antarctica and just, yeah. Anyway, that's about it. I just wanted to rant because I'm excited. Like, really, really excited. I bet the music's going to be real good. Oh, boy. Realistically, though, I think it's fair to put your expectations fairly high, considering how well they did with RE2 and RE4. But I'm trying to be a little more modest. I'm going to keep my expectations around like a 6 or a 7, even though I truly believe that it's probably going to be like an 8, maybe a 9. This is just my opinion. Wee woo, opinion alert. Opinion alert. I think there's a very good possibility this may be one of the best RE games they've ever made. Because everything's there. They just have to flush it out. Yeah. Also, I'm excited people are going to get to play Code Veronica for the first time, since I guess people just don't play old games anymore. For whatever reason. And it's kind of goofy, to be fair. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Bye.